Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tamara, the tax doula with today's tax tips. Today I'm going to focus on mileage, specifically business, charity, medical, and military moving. So let's start with military moving, and all these numbers are for the 2025 tax year. Military moving. If you have orders from the military that you have to move, maybe you're moving locations, you're being transferred from one location to the other, your travel expenses may be tax deductible, and that includes mileage. So the mileage rate is currently 21 cents per mile. So you want to make sure that you're checking with your tax preparer if you qualify and you're adding that to your tax return for next year if you haven't done so in the past. Medical use is another area where you can calculate your mileage. Now, medical use is usually comes in handy when you have a uh, really significant amount of unreimbursed medical expenses. In those cases, it may be worth itemizing on your tax return. But in the meantime, you can also be calculating what does it cost for you to make those round trips to and from the doctor's office. And the medical use rate is also 21 cents per mile. So you want to make sure that you're keeping track of that as well. The third area that I want to cover is the charity use expense. Now, charity use, that rate hasn't changed since 1998. It's been 14 cents per mile for a really long time. But you might ask yourself, well, what exactly is covered under charity mileage at 14 cents per mile? Well, it includes things like if you're a volunteer for something like Meals on Wheels, then you can deduct the mileage expense that it takes for you to go back and forth from one person's house to the other to donate those meals. Maybe you're transporting not medical, maybe you're transporting donated goods for an organization. You might be able to calculate that as well. Now, you want to make sure that the organizations that you're volunteering for are IRS recognized charities. If it's a community organization that doesn't have, it's not recognized by the IRS as a charity, then you're not going to be able to deduct those expenses. But some other things may include, like I said, delivering meals, you're transporting donated goods, or maybe you're attending meetings related to charitable work. Maybe you're working at a shelter or a food pantry or someplace where they're serving meals, and you're going back and forth to those locations. It might be worth it to keep track of that and add it up and include that on your taxes at the end of the year. So that's what charitable mileage rate refers to. And then the last one we have is business use at 70 cents per miles. And this is frequently taken. I'm going to speak to this from a business owner's perspective. So I will use this business use expense when I am going to see clients. So when I am practicing as a birth doula and not the tax doula, and I'm visiting my clients for intakes and perinatal visits, then I will track what does it cost me to travel from my office to the client's house in round trip at 70 cents per mile. If I am working as a consultant or a speaker or presenter and I have to go to these locations and it's business, then again, I will track that business use at 70 cents per mile. So those are the mileage rates for 2025, and I will just repeat them again. For business use, it's 70 cents per mile. For charity use, it's 14 cents per mile. And again, that rate has been consistent since 1998. That rate hasn't changed at all. And then for medical or military use, it is currently 21 cents per mile. So you want to make sure that you are actually qualifying for these deductions, these rates. If you are not sure, please consult with your tax preparer and make sure that you're not giving yourself allocations that you are not qualified to take. And that is my tax tip for today. Enjoy and have a wonderful day.